at Centerville Regional Library. Today I'm going to show you how to use polymer clay, also known as sculpey, to make pet portraits. The nice thing about sculpey, or other kinds of polymer clay, is that they stay soft and pliable until you bake them, and you can also blend two colors together to get a third. I recommend that you might want to pick up some carving tools. And another thing I've used a lot in rolling out flat pieces of sculpey would be a little rolling thing. This is from a child's block set. So it's just a thing you can roll the sculpey. Another thing you might like to have on hand is some wipes for your fingers. I like to use wax paper on the table to do my work, and to do a drawing ahead of time, I like to have colored pencils to plan my sculpey piece out. So let's get going. Here's the picture I have chosen to make a little pin of. The first thing I want to do is make a drawing the size that I want it to be, and so I've pulled out some colored pencils that I believe are the right color palette for this piece. For simplicity's sake today, I'm going to keep this very simple and graphic. Since it's going to be a pin, I don't want it to be too huge. So I think probably no bigger than this. So what you're going to do with your sculpey is build your piece from back to front. So think about this in terms of layers of color. All right, now that you've got your drawing done, the next thing I like to do is put a piece of wax paper over the drawing. It's nice because you can see through it. Now I'm going to choose my colors. So take just a little bit of it. You see that it's nice and soft, especially when you warm it up with your fingers. Let's see what happens when I mix orange and white. Let's see how it comes out. This pack also has tan in it. Let's try it with this tan here. If I start with the tan, but I want to brighten it up just a little bit. And the thickness you want it to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe. A pin, you know, you don't want it too thin or it might break. Or you could make a refrigerator magnet. So I'm gonna make the whole shape with this background piece. Then I'm gonna put the white on top of it and add everything on top, ending with what sticks out the most, which is the nose. It's a good color. See, now look, pretty good color. So here's what I'm gonna do. Kind of get it as even as you can. And then get your little rolling tool and start to roll it out. Check the thickness. I don't want to go any thinner than that. Otherwise it'll be too fragile. All right, so now we've got a big enough piece. Put a layer of white on here. Now with this, I'm just gonna kind of like paint on it with the sculpey. I can shape the piece. And I'm putting a very thin layer. This is what's over his eye. Remember, we're building it up from back to front. Don't need very much black for his mouth. You really have to think about this constantly in terms of where these things are from back to front. too much of this. It can get very fine and fiddly, depending on, you know, how detailed your picture is. Now I need some pink for his tongue, and I don't have pink, but I do have red and white. Take a little bit of red. I don't need very much. I'm also going to need it for the ears, though. So let's use a little more white. There. That's a good tongue color. Now, finally, we can put this on top. And then since this black is under here, you can kind of further pull at the white to expose a little more black, you see. And you can just make nostril holes. Once you get the eyes in the holes, you can put little eyelids over them, because that is how eyes are made. Okay, now it's time to bake the sculpey. So I've got this toaster oven, and I bought this dedicated just for sculpey because I don't want the fumes given off by polymer clay to get in with any food I would make. So it's a special toaster oven I just bought for sculpey. And I put some foil on the tray, and what I'm going to do is just carefully peel my piece off of the wax paper and carefully lay it on there. Put it in. The instructions say 275 for 15 minutes per 1/4 inch of thickness. That is about 1/4 inch, so 15 minutes. It says do not over bake, so I think I'm going to do like 12 minutes. 275. Now we just have to wait. Here's some older ones I made in the past. I used to make these for craft fairs. And what you can do after you bake them is you can glue a pin on the back.